Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I will be reviewing Love is Blind Season 10, Episode 2. Okay, so let's jump right in. The previous episode, we saw like everybody freaking out and there was like an ambulance, so it seems like somebody was injured. And we find out that Eliza put nail glue in her eyes, thinking they were eye drops. What's her name? Ashley makes this funny joke about how Love is like half blind, which I thought was hilarious, but it seems like Eliza ended up being okay. So that's what all that commotion was about. All right. Then we go to Vic and Christine and we basically see their reveal. I thought it went really well. I was like, okay, I think these two are happy. They end up kissing. Christine had on a lot of lip gloss that got all over Vic's like mouth. He did propose again to her. So I feel like pretty hopeful about this couple. I do so far. We'll see how that goes. All right. So we go back to the pods and we see Emma is still kind of sad about Steven and how that whole thing ended. I don't really get why though, because she still has two other connections, I believe, with Mike and Connor. So Steven is a non-factor. If anything, Emma dodged a bullet. All right. So we see Mike and Emma talking and they're talking about kids again. Emma is crying about being adopted and Mike mentions he was premature and, you know, almost like didn't make it as a baby. And that's sad, right? I'm sorry. That's awful. I'm glad he made it. But I really don't understand why these two are still talking. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're so adamant, Mike, about having children and you can feel that Emma is unsure, cut it. Like, why are these two still talking? I don't get it. So, I don't get it. So we then see Emma talking to Connor and she shares that she's adopted with him and brings up her scars. She gets very emotional talking about this again. And Emma basically says that she thinks that in the end, she might just end up with Connor. It seems like she's leaning more towards Connor. All right, we go back to the men's quarters and we see Jordan basically saying that he's nervous about meeting Amber's kid. And he told Love is Blind that his only deal breaker was a woman with children. Isn't that funny, guys? Isn't that funny? Yeah, that makes me feel worried now because in my mind, I'm like, I mean, he knows she has a kid and he's okay with it so far. But to tell Love is Blind that is your only deal breaker, I'm a little like, oof, I don't know about that. So we see Jordan and Amber talking. And Amber is saying she used to not be hot and that she was a skinny redhead that grew up, you know, kind of poor. Jordan says he had learning issues growing up and that his teacher, along with his ex-girlfriend, insinuated that he was like stupid, which was like not an easy thing for him to deal with. So we see that they're kind of opening up more. And he basically says that he hopes there's chemistry between them when they meet. And Amber jokes and says that as long as he's not like a 60-year-old fat guy or something, we'll be fine. And Jordan says that he's not 60 years old. So yeah, this will be interesting because I do think that Jordan will be happy when he sees Amber. I don't know if Amber will be happy when she sees Jordan. That's what's not sure. And not that Jordan isn't attractive. He is, but you know, I still am not sure about that, but I do think Jordan will be happy when he sees Amber, if they do end up choosing each other. All right, so then we go back to Kevan and Tyler. Kevan asked how she would feel if for some reason she couldn't have kids, which is, I'm like, that's an interesting question. And Tyler basically said that she would build a bridge and get over it. I was like, damn, okay, that was a little cold. Like, what kind of response was that? I guess it was weird because I thought that Tyler really wanted to have children, but maybe not. I mean, personally for me, I know I want children, so I couldn't say that I could just build a dam and get over it. I would be devastated, but I guess everybody's different. Tyler asked Kevan if there's anything that their child could do that would basically make him distance himself from like his child. And Tyler says no, that there isn't anything, Kevan says no, that there isn't anything. And then Tyler asks, what about sexuality? He says that it would be okay and that he would still be like welcoming, even if their child, like I'm assuming, wasn't like necessarily straight. Tyler says that every guy she's ever dated wouldn't be okay with having a gay son and that they would just take them to the strip club. Now, guys, based on that alone, I don't know about this pairing, because even Tyler saying that she's dated guys like that, I get the feeling that she might also agree with that sentiment. Even though she doesn't want to say that she agrees with that sentiment, I get the sense that she does. So yeah, I didn't like that. And the strip club, really? Like, the strip club is gonna stop your son from being gay? Like, people are actually so insane. But yeah, I didn't like that answer, and I could tell that, like, they seem to be on different pages a little bit. Like, I mean, I don't know. But, you know, maybe Kevan also wouldn't be okay with it, but he's just saying he would be to save face. So maybe they're both on the same page with that. I don't know. But I didn't, like, love that response from Tyler. I was like, oh, okay. Who have you been dating? All right. Okay, Kevan, you know, opens up about how his mom lost her leg from a rare blood infection and that, you know, he happened to be like off of school when that happened, and he's kind of grateful that he wasn't working because I think he was kind of able to help her through that and almost like save her life in a way. All right, so this date basically ends with Kevan asking, this date basically ends with Tyler asking if Kevan has strong emotions for more than one person. So Tyler is basically trying to figure out if Kevan has any other connections outside of her. And he basically says that he doesn't, which is interesting because I thought he was also talking to Kia, but okay. Now we go back to Kevan and Kia. And Kevan basically was planning, I believe, to break things off with Kia during this date. But Kia kind of goes in and says, oh, it's great that I got to hear your voice. And, you know, he's still trying to get to know Kia. They're still talking in depth about things. And essentially he didn't end up breaking things off with Kia. So maybe he just couldn't do it. Or maybe Kevan is still kind of curious to see what this connection with Kia is about before just cutting it off. We go back to Jordan and Amber. And Jordan basically wrote this amazing speech and said that, you know, Amber was the most beautiful person he's never seen before. And I was like, that's cute. I like that. He proposes and Amber says yes. So I am really hopeful about this couple. This is the second proposal so far. And I don't know why, but I like Jordan and Amber's like energy. I hope that they are like, the reveal won't ruin things between them. Like, hopefully they do vibe, because I think that they have a really good connection in terms of like the pods, and they just both seem like easygoing and like chill, normal people. So I'm like, I think this could work. I really do. All right. So we go back to Kevan and Kia. Kevan is saying the same things over and over again. Kia opens up about how her dad died and her mom has battled with addiction. So she's really going into like depth about her upbringing and what she's been through. Kia just seems like a really nice person, like a great woman. And I don't know. I just personally, guys, I don't really like Tyler for her. I feel like she could find somebody else. I'm not really feeling it. But once again, Kevan has not broken off this connection with Kia. So he told Tyler that he has no one else, but that's not really true, is it? Because Kia and him are still connecting. Go back to the women's quarters, and Tyler wants to know who Kevan's number 2 is. And she's doing it in a weird way, because it's like I'm assuming she knows that it's Kia, but she's pretending like she doesn't know. And she's basically saying who is Kevan like stringing along, as the girl can be her man's side bitch. I didn't like that comment. I did not. And this is where I'm going to just say that, like, there's something about Tyler to me that's giving like, ooh, that's not nice. Like, you're on Love is Blind. You're all dating the same types of people. You don't have to talk about the other girl that your connection is talking to could be a side piece. That's not nice. That's not nice. That's not nice. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Tyler. I like Kia though. She seems really, really sweet. And personally, I don't like Kevan for Kia either. But yeah, I'm not feeling Tyler. I didn't like that. I didn't like that comment because this is a show where people have multiple connections. You don't have to refer to them as being a side piece. That's not necessary. It's not. Okay, so then we see Kevan and Tyler. Tyler is saying moving to Columbus might be tough. Tyler starts crying because she can feel him trying to basically back out, right? And Kevan starts talking about how great Tyler is, saying all these things, and Tyler is like, save it, I don't want to hear it. And she cuts him off and says that she doesn't need to hear how great she is. And then she basically just leaves the pod. And yeah, guys, I'm surprised because, I mean, Kevan seemed like he was really into Tyler. I don't really know what made him like completely change his mind and want to just not continue things with Tyler. So I found that to be kind of strange, but at the same time, I don't know about Tyler. So maybe Kevan is honestly making a better decision for himself. I do think that he would have a better chance or a better, I think Kia is the better option. She just seems like an overall genuine, nice person. So we shall see. That is how this episode ends. And I will be reviewing the episodes to come. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.